Deebo Samuel. And, Chris, I've been trying to think back to when we met with him at the Super Bowl. I got no indication there was any acrimony. He talked about his contract.
Agreed.
He said he's going to leave that to Kyle Shanahan and his agents. No sense, no pause, no hesitation, no tells, no ticks, no anything. Now, something's going on.
Something is.
Shefty said something yesterday, and I still can't make 100% clear sense of what he's saying, but the takeaway, I think, is, as of right now, Deebo doesn't want to talk, and they've pissed him off. I think that's the way I look at it. They've pissed him off. Whether it was their initial offer, whether it was how they moved once negotiations began, something pissed him off and caused him to shut it down, and that's what prompted the removal of all 49ers mentions and logos and colors from his social media page. They crossed a bridge with him, and he's pissed off. And his brother, Taekwon Samuel, putting some comments on social media suggesting that Deebo's not going to be back with the 49ers next year. This has suddenly become a big deal for the 49ers. And it's just a few days after Deebo, who seemed to be very nonplussed about the whole thing, was talking about getting death threats and racist comments from fans in his DMs. This thing is a teetering right now.
Seems like.
And I don't know what the 49ers are going to do, but they got to mess with one of the best players on their team.
Yeah, and definitely. I mean, one of the best players, certainly the best player with the ball in their hand on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, their number one schematical weapon. Man, there's a lot of things at play here. There really is when I think about it. One, I just sit there and go, well, Shanahan, he's an ex-receiver. He's very good at evaluating them. Maybe he looks at it and goes, well, I'll find another one. I don't want to pay $30 million a year. Maybe. I mean, again, we know, I know. We've heard from coaches and people that not everybody's bought into this $28 million a year wide receiver idea. I mean, there's some teams that are like, yep, I'll go get them. There's another faction in the league that's like, that's crazy. Receivers are growing on trees. We don't need to pay anybody $28 million a year. Maybe Shanahan's one of those guys. He does have an eye for it, and I think has great, what do I want to just say, confidence in his ability to evaluate that position. But Schefter, right? The original thing we saw was, it's not the 49ers. I'm paraphrasing. It's not the 49ers. It's Deebo Samuel that's halted the conversations. And, at first you just go, what? How could that be? Like, get the heck out of here. That can't be real. And then you go, was he making it up? Where's he getting that from? That's not something like Shanahan or Lynch, I think, BS about. I don't. But Pete made a great point when we were in our group text message last night a little bit. But, yeah, maybe he halted conversations after he realized, wait, the number's nowhere near I want to be, so I'm halting it. And I think that could be a very real possibility, and there's a lot that seems lines up there.
At one point, Clarence Hill of the Fort Worth Star-Telegram, who doesn't cover the 49ers, made this comment, and it was regarded as a report, and I didn't see anything in it when I looked at it that tells me it wasn't. Deebo wants to be the highest-paid non-quarterback in the NFL. And if the 49ers aren't willing to do that, and when at a time when Nick Bosa probably wants to be the highest-paid non-quarterback in the NFL, they're going to have to make a tough decision. And Shanahan probably has sufficient confidence in his scouting ability that he could go out and find another Deebo Samuel because they got him in round 2. They know how to scout these guys. Shanahan has talked about what attracted them to him and the way he played in college, and they saw the physicality there. There goes the ear pad again. But good luck with that. Once you find a guy who can get it done at the NFL level the way he gets it done, and you're going to throw him back, you're going to move on from him, good luck with that. And then the question becomes, what will the 49ers do? He's under contract for one more year. What if they just say to him, sorry, we're gonna play this year with you on the team. Show up, play for us or play for no one. If they want to play ultra hardball with Deebo Samuel, they can.
Yeah, they can. You're right, 100%. They could also probably trade him right now and get the greatest value they'll ever be able to get for him. The Jets wanted Tyreek Hill. Why the hell wouldn't they want Deebo Samuel? To me, it's, the guy that's, almost every bit as electric, maybe more electric in some ways, and he's just about to hit the prime of his career. I would think there's going to be a market for one of those teams that's willing to pay a guy like Deebo Samuel that type of money. I would. I'm going to be interested to see where this goes because I think all the things we said I can see being real. And I know people think like, oh, well, you know, Kyle's probably told. I haven't talked to Kyle in forever. I have no clue. No clue what's going on here at all. But I do know that he has great value. He knows, or he feels he's confident in his evaluation of wide receivers. And just trying to put myself in his shoes, maybe that's what he's thinking. And yes, they got some other issues, you're right, with other contracts that they got to figure out, plus a $25 million quarterback that they don't want on their team that's sitting there too.
He had 802 receiving yards as a rookie in 2019, appearing in 15 games. Missed 9 games in the regular season in 2020 and had only 391 receiving yards. Last year is when he exploded, became an all-pro, 1,400 receiving yards, added 365 rushing yards. He told us at the Super Bowl it was a surprise to him when they started using him as a running back. They kind of created this mess for themselves by making him such a featured player in the offense, allowing him to develop into the player he is and making him realize I have far greater value than what you are attributing to me. I am a combination. I can play running back. I can play receiver. I can do it all. And as we've said about the Jets, they had the wallet open to trade for Tyreek Hill and pay Tyreek Hill. And here's Deebo Samuel, who is making peanuts in comparison to what Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill are making because he's under the slotted 4th year of his rookie contract. And yeah, Pete, I think your instincts are right. They pissed him off. And maybe they can fix it now. Maybe it's on them to fix it, and maybe the way to fix it is just show up with a truckload of money. But sometimes that negotiation ritual early on, when they deliberately go low, that could be enough. You could insult someone a little bit. You insulted him a little bit. You insulted him.
It seems like it.
You insult him a little bit with one of those early numbers, and he just says, screw you. I'm out of here.
Yeah, it does seem like that. Yes. And it's, I don't know, it's some pretty strong, statements he's made. And then, even the brother, again, I know it's the brother, but more times than not, the brothers are on the same page as the player. They usually know what the hell's going on. Exactly right. And, bottom line is, we've discussed it a lot, and you say it all the time, and I always love that you do it. He's making nothing, and he's kind of a car crash wide receiver. He's different that way, and he's got to protect himself because of that and the fact that we have tangible evidence that – in every big moment, the last 7 weeks of the year going into the playoffs, when there was a big moment, they went, let's give Deebo one of those car crash plays, and let's go let him do it and let him win the game for us. Damn. So, yes, he has value there, and he's got to protect himself there too, because I do think Shanahan's the type of coach that will ride you and ride you and ride you until, the wheels start to fall off a little bit. He's going to get his money's worth out of you.
This is a prime opportunity for them to rebuild some of the draft capital they gave up to get Trey Lance. And if they do have a problem with Deebo, if they have misplayed this, if they have bungled it, and he's pissed off and doesn't want to be there, they may have to think about it. And the Jets make the most sense if they are thinking about trading him, in part because they wouldn't have to deal with him in the division or in the conference. They would send him all the way to the other side of the country. And if he thrives in New York, so be it. We'll never see them except for once every 4 years or in the Super Bowl if our paths cross.
Yeah, I just wondered this one thing, Mike. This is another thing I do wonder. By all due accounts, as we both know, they want to make it the Trey Lance show. I would think if I'm Lynch or Shanahan, you put all those assets in to get to Trey Lance, you're also feeling the pressure of, hey, Deebo's going to make life a lot easier on Trey Lance. So we really, we're going to throw Trey. So they got an issue here. And I could understand them being pulled to a lot of different ways in their brain as they try to figure this out.
It's all the more reason for Deebo to want more.
Yeah,
I'm here to help prop up this guy that you weren't sufficiently sure about to even put on the field very much last year. We thought we were going to see him a lot. We hardly saw him. He had the start against the Texans when Jimmy G was injured. There's still a thought percolating around the NFL that Trey Lance isn't ready. The 49ers aren't going to come out and tell us that, but he's going to look a lot more ready if he's got Deebo Samuel to hand the ball off to throw the bubble screen, the jet sweep to know he's part of that offense. That makes Trey Lance a lot better than it would be if Deebo Samuel isn't on the team. And one final point, you got $25 million in cap space that is tied to the quarterback that you continue to cling to. And somebody got mad at me because I referred to Jimmy Garoppolo as an albatross recently. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about his contract. They're done with him. They're done with him, but they're saddled with $25 million in cap space that they're carrying because they think that some great trade opportunity is going to fall out of the sky. That's the albatross, that contract at this point, because that money, that cap space, could be devoted to Deebo Samuel. Yeah. And let me tell you, at some point, Samuel and his agents have surely had that conversation. You're gonna keep paying all this money to the guy that is going to be on the bench? What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm the guy that's out there helping you win. I want what you're going to apparently give to Jimmy Garoppolo if you can't find a trade partner. The whole thing is a mess, and I don't know where it's going to go, but it definitely is one of those, you got Kyler Murray, you got Deebo Samuel. Those are the two top contract disputes to keep an eye on right now as you try to figure out where Baker Mayfield's going to go, where Jimmy G is going to go. We've got a lot of plates spinning in the NFL as the draft approaches, and not all these things are going to get resolved by next week, Chris.
No, they're definitely not. It's not, and it's we'll see. It's going to make maybe this lead up to the draft a little bit more exciting. I don't know if the Kyler Murray thing really matters. 49ers, Deebo Samuel thing, though, that can matter for sure. And same with Baker Mayfield. That could also be in play here over the next week. So it's always an exciting time in the NFL. Always. Never a dull moment.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.